Hey Narwhals, I'm your host Luke Narwhal, and welcome back to another video. I hope this one helps. I'm taking a break. I've heard that the best diet is the one that you'll stick to, and I've been sticking to mine for the last 3 months. But I'm going to be honest and just say that I'm getting tired mentally. I'm doing calories in, calories out, and balancing my macros. I have enough calories that I'm never hungry, but I do have to watch what I'm eating to make sure I don't go over, at least not too often. So I've decided to take a diet break and switch to maintenance for a week. 1, because I've read that if you have a long way to go in weight loss, taking occasional breaks will keep your metabolism high. 2, I have a week off work, and it's always harder to lose weight at home. And 3, eating a maintenance amount will give me an idea of what it will be like when I've lost the weight. I think we all know that keeping the weight off can be as hard as losing it. This is like practice for the rest of my life. But 4, there is a part of me that feels guilty about this whole thing. Like I should just white knuckle it till I lose all the weight. But I know I just can't do that. My willpower is dwindling, and I hope that after this, it will be refreshed. There is nothing wrong with taking a break. You might experience a few psychological effects from taking a week of maintenance after 3 months at a deficit. Feeling bad for upping your calories, feeling like you're undoing your progress, feeling symptoms of an ED, etc. And you'll also likely see the scale go up. And just remember, if you're truly holding yourself accountable and out of maintenance calories, you're just seeing water weight. Sometimes the psychological aspect is tough, but just remember, it's a break, and be prepared to turn the switch back on once the week is over. It sounds like a reasonable and healthy thing to do, especially considering your week off work. It can be over-restricting to stick to your usual routine when you have all that free time to be out and about. In my case, I keep my deficit very modest, so some weeks I virtually do not lose any weight. It adds up slowly though, and I managed to drop 18 pounds since I started in early January. I would love to hear from you after your maintenance week, if you'd like to share how it went. Because of my modest deficit, any kind of social plan where I indulge a little, say 2 glasses of wine, stalls my progress completely. So I've been thinking lately that my maintenance will actually not be very different from what I'm doing right now. If anything, maybe I will allow myself dessert here and there and eat out a bit more. But other than that, Monday to Friday is going to be business as usual. I like to look at my current diet as a lifetime set of habits. It also helps me make sure I'm getting food I enjoy and making me happy, in moderation, while I lose weight, which in turn helps me stick to it because it doesn't feel forced. From my personal experience, breaks are not only good because you temporarily get to eat more, but I found that they make the weight loss process more efficient. I took a break in February after 8 months of strict discipline and diminishing results. And now that March is almost over, I'll have lost about 14 pounds, a new record-breaking month. Also, as a short-term example, I was stuck at 9 pounds for almost a week. But then my second COVID dose put me out for 2 days and I didn't work out on my usual days. Today, I broke that mini plateau and I'm down to 206 pounds. As long as it's a calculated break and not an issue of discipline or falling out of good habits, breaks are healthy and useful in all aspects of getting healthier. The thing about your metabolism is just a myth. You can't really harm it or fundamentally change it by eating at a modest caloric deficit. Your total daily energy expenditure goes down as you lose weight because a smaller body requires fewer calories to maintain. That said, diet breaks can be a welcome change. I've taken ones where I eat at maintenance for my current weight and ones where I eat at maintenance for my goal weight. I've taken long ones and short ones, and I never experienced any type of harmful side effects, except that it took a couple days for my stomach to get used to feeling a bit hungrier when I went back to eating at a deficit. Good luck on your maintenance break and the rest of your weight loss. Most of the current research shows that the chance of a diet rebound increases exponentially if a dieter continues dieting past 3 months at a time. So you have great intuition for taking a break right now. However, the same research shows that diet breaks are ideally between 2/3 to 1.5 the length of the diet itself. Anything less has very little impact, and on average, most people rebound if they take a shorter diet break. Learning this and respecting it was the main thing that has finally allowed me to lose weight and keep it off consistently after years of spinning my wheels, though it was very hard to accept because it pushes your weight loss timeline much further out than initially planned. Just food for thought. Accepting that it's time to lose weight. Unhappy. During quarantine, I wore mostly baggy clothes and sweats. I figured I was gaining weight with all the food I was taking in. I'm a bit of a binger, and my family would stock junk food weekly and buy takeout for me daily, So every day I was eating McDonald's, pizza, White Castle, etc. I ballooned without noticing. I didn't leave the house at all. So I went to the doctor and they didn't say anything. And now I'm 200 pounds from 150 and I went to put on spring clothes since the weather is nice. But I can't fit in anything. I almost want to cry. I took a hard look and I can finally say my man chest has developed. The gut I have is hanging out and how round my face has gotten. I love me, but I don't like looking like this. Starting today, I'm going to try to eat a better, more controlled diet. I started working out at the gym last Friday, so hopefully that'll help. I was hoping I'd have a nicer chest by now, lol. This post is mainly for me to motivate myself and solidify my goals. It's good that you're making yourself a priority, but it took you almost a year to put it on, so 1 week at the gym isn't going to make any sort of noticeable difference. The slow and steady is going to win the race on this one. If you can afford it, purchase a couple of spring outfits that fit the body you have now. The waste of $100 to $200 will be worth having a few things that are comfortable and make you feel good about yourself over the next month or a few months as you commit to steady and healthy weight loss. Binging seems to be a pretty tricky thing to deal with that so many struggle with for a lot or all of their life. I became obese slowly over many years, but I have bingers in my family that yo-yo dieting where binging is their normal and anything else is them trying to cut back to lose weight. Of the bingers that I've heard of that have been successful long-term in maintaining a healthy weight, it seems like addressing the emotional reasons and habits while being compassionate to yourself, but still monitoring your food intake and weight in some way while also being honest in that monitoring for when you fall back into binging habits and what you did is so important. Longer-term weight loss is about finding ways to be satisfied with your diet and lifestyle that allows you to live at a healthier weight. Being in a calorie deficit is what causes fat loss, but habits and food choices are what helps us maintain a lower calorie intake day in and day out. We all have to experiment with that to see what it means for us. I find that intermittent fasting plus calorically dense foods helps me with the binge. I have a modest lunch and then a huge dinner that makes me feel stuffed, and I don't feel bad about it. I would normally eat breakfast more out of habit than actually being full, so it wasn't much of a hassle. Intermittent fasting isn't great for everyone. I did it for a year and it wasn't great for me mentally and physically. I have a hormonal disorder, PCOS, and it made it much worse. Mentally, it actually gave me more anxiety around food and made me more prone to almost binging. Not binging like people struggling with binging EDs though. After doing intermittent fasting for a year, I switched to calorie counting and that's been great for me weight-wise. Mentally and physically, my PCOS has never been better. I don't struggle with binging though. I can limit food quantity pretty easily. Many intermittent fasters struggle with binging. If you search binging on the IF Reddit groups, you'll find lots of people with that experience. Solidarity. I gained 21 pounds from March 2020 to March 2021. It would have been more, but I still go to work, so I have to wear office clothes. I started intermittent fasting last Monday and tried to convince my partner to carry me to bed last night because I've been dieting, lol. Anyways, it's a great time to start because going into summer bigger than your clothes kinda sucks. It's understandable that people will put on weight during lockdown. A lot will be in your situation too. I wish I was 200 pounds. I'm a lot higher in the pounds than you are by a distance. You've already achieved the first step by admitting that you don't like how you currently look, and then you already had a gym session. You can do it. Good luck. I'm sure you can do it. I just came to the exact same realization myself. I was rearranging my closet, getting my spring and summer clothes ready, and I couldn't fit into most of my dresses and skirts, and if I could fit them, they were way too tight. The pandemic was and is a difficult time. I'm trying not to be too hard on myself for finding comfort in food. It's a work in progress. I had lost about 15 pounds before the pandemic hit, and within the first 3 months of the lockdown, I had gained it back, plus 3 pounds. I'm really high risk, and so basically I can't go anywhere or see anyone, and the depression hit hard. In September, I realized I can't control the other reasons I'm high risk, immunosuppressants and autoimmune disorder, but I can control being in the obese BMI category. I started with just diet, while I tried to figure out how to exercise without triggering my autoimmune disease, and after I lost 20 pounds, I started with short bursts of exercise. And now I'm down 34 pounds and exercising at home 30 minutes minutes a day. I'm 1 point away from dropping out of the obese category and into the overweight category. It has been work, but it's so worth it for the increase in energy and also the distraction of a goal to work towards. I'm looking forward to shocking everyone when they finally get to see me in person, lol. You've totally got this, friend. And that brings us to the end of the video, narwhals. I really hope you enjoyed this one. If you haven't joined our amazing community yet, the narwhals, consider tapping subscribe for more weight loss stories that help you stay on track. And lastly, here's our featured narwhal of the day. 169 centimeters, from 72 kilograms to 65. 5'6" from 158 pounds to 143. I wasn't sure if I could hit my goal in 4 months. Turns out that I did it in 3.